Hello, my name is Dylan Young, and today I will be continuing my series on Moosend, Sitecore's recent acquisition. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to get the latest Moosend content as I release it. Today, I'm continuing my series. I'll be covering how to send your first email campaign today, so this will be kind of the first introduction into actually sending emails, where I've been covering in prior videos, I've been covering how to modify mailing lists and modify other various aspects of Moosend. So I think tonight is going to be one of the better videos to watch. So what we need to do is navigate on over to Moosend. To do that, I'll open up a browser and I will type in moosend.com, and now I'll click on login, and then I'll log into the Moosend interface. Once I'm in, you'll notice that the interface has changed. If you have been following along with the videos so far, you'll notice that we actually see metrics related to sending campaigns we've sent in the past, because I just recently completed a SUG event where I went through a lot of these steps that I'll be talking about tonight. So in order to get started sending your first campaign, you must have done all the other steps. If you just registered your account, you'll have kind of this interface where you can check off the things that you need to complete in order to send an email. And if you haven't done so already, you should definitely check out previous videos that I've recorded on this topic, because I cover all the different steps that you need to go through in order to get out and ready to send email campaigns. So today I should say, I'm going to click on the campaigns button over here on the left hand side navigation, and then I am going to create a new campaign. I'm just going to be sending a regular campaign tonight. I hope to potentially do some of these other ones in the future and show what those capabilities are. So we'll just go up to where regular campaign is the option. We'll click on create. Now we must give this campaign a name. So I will just call it demo campaign. And you must give it a subject. I'll just call it demo campaign as well. You don't necessarily need to do a preview text. This is just for helpful information about what the campaign is about. And then you must give it a sender and a reply to. So if you haven't done so already, you will have to go back, watch the video potentially on how to set up senders inside Moosend, or go in and create the senders. If you don't want to watch the video, you don't have to, but obviously you have to have senders configured. So we'll click on the sales hello Ignium, and the same for this one as well. And then there's three last options. I'm not going to change anything to do with send confirmation to. This is how you get a confirmation once all the emails are sent for the campaign. So if you have hundreds of emails that are going to be sent out, you'll get a notification to this email address that you specify here once of those 100 emails have been sent. You can track your campaign in Google Analytics, which I'll show in the future, and then you can track your campaign revenue, which is another feature I'm going to show in the future. And now you must select a mailing list, which today I will be selecting the SUG Portland one that I've used in the past. I actually used this for the SUG Portland event. And it gives you an option if you want to use the entire list, which is whatever members are part of that mailing list will be who we send this to, or you can specify a segment. I already actually have a segment specified for all users that have purchased items. So I use basically a purchase date, and I basically say, all users that have a purchase date that's greater than, I think it's less than today. I don't remember exactly what that rule is, but watch my video on segmentation and you can learn how to configure that. I'm just going to select the entire list, and that will be 2 recipients. Actually, it looks like It'll be potentially two recipients no matter what. So I'll do that, and then you get another option where you select HTML and plain text versus or plain text only. So we'll go ahead and use the HTML and plain text option. Next up is where you specify your campaign template. You can import a template. I will hopefully show a video on that in the future, but for today's video, we're just going to use a campaign editor. So to do that, you can just click on Take Me to the Editor. There's some links there as well, which can allow you to learn a little bit more about it if you want. So there's two ways to really get started with sending these emails. You can start building your own kind of templates yourself just by dropping in, these kind of like an experience editor style buttons or components. You can drop them into the page as you're kind of building them over here on the right. That's one option. The other option, which is what I'm going to show tonight, is where you can go into the template library and then you can choose one of something that already exists, which is pretty awesome and powerful because there's a lot of options here. So you don't have to go and try to, create something really amazing yourself. You can use something existing. Now, I would say most companies are probably going to design something from scratch, but it's just helpful if you are learning Moosend to have these options already available to you. I am going to select the application option, and I'm going to select let's see here. Let's go ahead with this option. So a mobile app. We're releasing a mobile app. Obviously, we're not actually releasing a mobile app, but so now we have this template. And obviously, if you were building your own for your own business, you could start from this to use it to build templates as well, because you can click on these and start making styling changes, etc., to the way this looks. So if you don't want a background that's black or light blue, whatever that color is, you can change it. You can change it to yellow, for example. I don't know why you'd want to make it that color. It's a really ugly color. I'll go with that color instead. So you can specify and make some changes, border color, border width, change the name of the title. I haven't played around with the Google promotion settings yet. I hope to play with that in the future. You can specify some link settings. So if you want the settings, links on this site to have a certain color, you can do that there. Slots, you can specify additional settings there. Text, spacers, image, list goes on and on. Social follows. This is where you can specify your Facebook URLs. And as you're building these out, if you're planning on sending a lot of these emails in the future, you can actually make a bunch of changes and then save this template. So then you could save it for future use. And I hope to show that in the future as well. Just different small segments of how you can do common functionality. You can add custom fonts if you wanted to. It actually has a pretty long list here of different types of fonts that you can inject here. And you can specify, using Retina quality images. So that's pretty much it for the page itself, but then you can specify and change settings on the component level itself. And then the component level to keep in mind is usually the whole kind of section here. So this is actually kind of like a 2-column component, and it's got things inside of it. So you can change this kind of wrapper, and then you'd be changing slot 1 and slot 2 styling. So you can make it transparent, vertical, align bottom, make one kind of go to the top, one go to the bottom, those types of things. Not much changes because there's not much differences there. So pretty powerful. You can also select things. So this is an image, so you can change the image if you want to. You can do an image picker. It gives you lots of different options here. Let's just throw this one in, why not? One of my favorite images I love using all the time. It works and acts a lot like the experience editor. So we can say, welcome to my mailing item. I don't know. I'm not very creative there, but you have this kind of rich text editor experience up here where you can do some styling, change the alignment, justify it, center it, whichever makes the most sense. You can bold it, all the things that are typical. There is one other thing, and I hope to show this in a video where I focus on personalization options altogether. There is a way to drop tokens in. So depending on our mailing list, there's going to be tokens for custom fields, but there's also going to be tokens for various other things. If we want to drop in email sent to, this would drop in the email address that was sent to. If you wanted to put in your double opt-in verification link. So lots of little tokens that we can inject into this page, or personalization tags is what they're called. They're just information about the users, and they're just being token replaced in. So, but there's actually a way to do component level personalization as well, which I will cover in a future video where I cover personalization. So that's pretty much it. A lot of different options. I would highly suggest, if this is your first time working with this, that you should just play around and see what kind of customizations you can make. There is some navigation along the top, and then there's also this kind of tabbed picker. We're looking at the desktop newsletter navigation right now, and then there's also this mobile newsletter. The difference is previewing this for mobile versus desktop, which I'm not going to click on. There is a helper grid is here as well. This just adds kind of areas where you can insert elements, and just kind of makes it a little bit easier to see where you can put stuff, which is pretty useful. There is the ability, once you're kind of hovering over this, you can duplicate components. So you can duplicate it, you can click on settings, you can click on, if I can select it here, create clone block. I'm not sure what that does. I've never seen that before. You can move stuff and you can remove it. Move and remove. And pretty good options there. You can always go back to the template library and change the template that you're using. You can click on preview, and you can then view this in different screen sizes, which is useful. There's also the preview adds token replacement in, or replaces the tokens, so you have a good idea what the tokens will replace into. You can send a test. If you want to send this to somebody, you can send it to yourself, obviously. You can test this in Gmail, or you can test in Outlook, or whatever you want to do. If you have a Litmus account, Litmus gives you personalized emails that if you use those emails to test with, then it will send it to Litmus, and Litmus will then do a lot of tests against it. Do all the different devices and email clients and etc. There's code options. It allows you to copy HTML code. It allows you to download the JSON file or upload a JSON file. And there's a few other options which I'm not going to do tonight or today. So we'll just go back to edit mode, and let's go ahead and try to send this email off. So we're going to click on the update campaign and continue option. We'll just say okay to that. And now we're back into this view of as we kind of go down the steps of creating a campaign. So now we have the option to send another test if you want to. You can do content spam testing. You can do just design and delivery tests. Obviously, like I said, if you have a Litmus account, this would be a better way to just send the Litmus a test, and it will tell you or give you a good sense of what that email might look like in all different devices. And then obviously content spam test would be a good thing to do as well. We're just going to skip the test. And then you have an option. You can send this campaign immediately. That's actually what we're going to do tonight. You can also schedule this in the future. So you can select a date and time for it to run. You can specify your time zone. So in case you want to schedule these in the future. but we're just gonna send the campaign immediately tonight. And kind of a spammy sounding option that I think every time I see it, I'm like, well, I don't know if about that. I don't know how many times it would send this, but basically, if your subscribers fail to open your email campaign in their inbox, then it will send it eventually again. And I don't. Oh, it's got some options here. So resend the campaign after. You could literally annoy the heck out of your people. It looks like it would just send it again a second time, not multiple times. So I was a little worried that it would just keep sending it over and over and over again. Every hour you'd get a new email. That'd be really annoying. So we'll just click next, and then we'll just confirm all these options that we have supplied, and now we'll click send. And then this will trigger the send. And so demo campaign, it's in the status of ready to send. We can refresh this page. Looks like it was actually updating it by itself. Just now it's in sending mode. Looks like I'm imagining this will update in a few minutes and say it's sent it to everybody. While that's going on, I'm gonna just quickly look at my inbox and confirm that it's been received, and I'll show you what that looks like. And you'll see that I just received it. Let's move it to the inbox so it will keep going in my spam for some reason, but pictures. And here's our email. Obviously a bunch of gibberish here because we inserted some tokens and it's now replaced those tokens with actual values. But we have our kind of GIF here where the guys are Giphy, where Homer's going into the bushes because we're slowly stepping away from this horrific looking template. So that's pretty much it. That was our first email send campaign. Obviously, you can take this a little bit further from here. I hope to do a little bit more demonstrations of various options and customizations that you can do here. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on the email personalization options. I just sort of showed you the token replacements, but I'm going to show block customizations and personalization. So that completes today's video. If you like this video or want to see more content on Moosend specifically, please subscribe so that way you'll get notified of the latest releases of new Moosend content. So good luck and enjoy playing with Moosend.